The idea that our universe could literally slam into another one, I mean, it sounds like something straight out of science fiction, right? But what if it's not? What if this wild idea is actually sitting at the very edge of modern cosmology? Now, we're not saying it's a certainty, but it is one of the most mind-bending possibilities our best theories have ever cooked up. So, yeah, let's dive in. For most of human history, the universe meant, well, everything. That's it, full stop. But modern physics has kind of cracked open the door to a much stranger and honestly a much bigger possibility. It really makes you stop and ask this super fundamental question. What if our entire reality is just one of many? And that brings us to this idea of the multiverse. Look, this isn't just some fun thought experiment for late-night chats. It's what you might actually get from some of our leading theories, like eternal inflation and string theory. The basic idea? Our universe is just a single bubble in this huge cosmic ocean, and new bubble universes are just frothing into existence all the time. Okay, so first up, a universe of universes. We're going to go beyond the Big Bang here. Because this new picture, it really challenges that classic story of a single lonely creation event. It suggests a cosmos that is way more chaotic and dynamic than we ever imagined. I really love this analogy. For so long, we thought our universe was the only book, the one and only. But this new picture suggests we might just be living on a single page in a book that's practically infinite. And every single page is a totally different universe with its own unique story. Which, of course, leads to a pretty obvious question. What happens if the pages touch? All right, section 2. When bubbles meet. So, if these other universes are out there, like bubbles, could they actually collide? Well, the answer comes from some pretty mind-bending physics. Let's break down how something like this could even happen. So, it all kicks off with this theory called eternal inflation. The basic gist is that space itself, the fabric of reality, is constantly, endlessly expanding. And within that expanding space, you get these tiny quantum fluctuations that can act like seeds. And bam, they can suddenly balloon into brand new pocket universes. These are our bubbles. Now, here's the kicker. If two of these bubbles happen to pop into existence close enough together, their expanding walls could be on a collision course. And that's the scientific basis for how you get a cosmic smash-up. So let's talk about the big one. Clash of realities. What would actually happen at the moment of impact? I mean, this wouldn't be like two cars crashing on the highway. No. This would be a fundamental clash of realities. And what happens next? Well, that depends entirely on what kind of universe we're hitting. Okay, so physicists have pretty much mapped out two main scenarios. First, you've got the violent encounter. This is what happens if the other universe has completely different laws of physics from ours. The result? Well, to put it lightly, it's catastrophic annihilation. Reality itself gets rewritten. But then, there's the other possibility, a more subtle encounter. If the universes are similar enough, the impact might be less explosive, leaving behind these strange, ghostly imprints of its visit. Let's stick with that violent scenario for a second, because it's terrifying. From our point of view, the other universe would show up as a wall, a shock front, moving at almost the speed of light. And this isn't a wall made of bricks or anything. It's a disk of pure annihilation, hotter than the core of any star. It would just vaporize entire galaxies as it passed through and fundamentally rewrite the laws of physics in its wake. Think about that. The mass of an electron, the strength of gravity, everything we take for granted could change in a flash. Okay, but what about that more subtle collision? In some ways, this is an even weirder idea. It might not destroy us, right? But it would definitely leave its mark. You could have a cosmic bruise printed on the oldest light in our universe, or maybe strange gravitational tugs on distant stars that we can't explain. Some theories even suggest that dark matter, that mysterious stuff holding our own galaxy together, could just be the leftover junk from an ancient cosmic fender bender. We could literally be swimming in the wreckage of another reality right now. All right, section 4, scars on the cosmos. Now, this is all incredible theory, right? But is there any proof? Is it possible the signs of a past collision are hiding in plain sight, just written into the very fabric of our universe? Well, the best place for us to go looking for evidence is in something called the cosmic microwave background, or the CMB. The easiest way to think about it is that it's our universe's baby picture. It's the faint afterglow from the Big Bang, the oldest light we can possibly see. So, if our infant universe got bumped by another one, the CMB is exactly where we'd see the bruise. And incredibly, astronomers have found something. It's called the cold spots. It's this unusually large and, well, cold patch in the otherwise pretty uniform CMB. Now, it's a tiny, tiny fraction of the overall picture, but its existence is a real puzzle. Could it just be a random fluke? Maybe. But some cosmologists argue that it has the exact characteristics you'd expect from a scar left by a collision. The evidence is so tantalizing. But yeah, it's still being hotly debated. Okay, so for our last section, our place in the froth. We've talked about the what if. Let's move to the so what. What does this completely new perspective on the cosmos actually mean for us? So before you start building a cosmic bunker and losing sleep, take a look at this number. This is the estimated typical distance between these bubble universes. It is a number so ridiculously, mind-bogglingly huge that our entire observable universe, everything we've ever seen or could ever hope to see, is less than a single atom by comparison. So yeah, while a collision is physically possible, the chances of it happening to us are almost incomprehensibly small. But the philosophical impact? That is immense. The very possibility of these collisions implies that our reality isn't fundamental. It's not permanent. The laws of physics that make our entire existence possible could be nothing more than local bylaws, specific to our little pocket of space-time and, well, subject to change without notice. And this is really the ultimate takeaway, isn't it? This whole idea just shatters the notion that our universe is special or unique. Instead, it places our entire existence inside a much vaster, more tumultuous reality. It forces us to see ourselves not as the center of everything, but as inhabitants of one small, fragile bubble in a vast, dynamic, and sometimes violent metacosmos. It's a truly humbling thought. So, the next time you look up at the night sky, think about this. Is all that deep silence out there truly empty? Or is it just the quiet between cosmic events, the pause before a collision whose shockwave is still racing towards us across an unimaginable void? It's a thought that kind of changes everything, doesn't it?